Welcome to CBS Easy.
All right, let's talk Class 10 boards. You know, every single mark counts. So today, we're going to crack the code on one of the most scoring chapters in your entire math paper, probability. Let's dive right in and get you feeling confident for that exam.
So why are we zeroing in on this topic? Well, the statistics and probability unit is worth a whopping 11 marks. That's a huge chunk of your final grade, and trust me, with the right approach, those marks are totally achievable.
So, are you ready to go get those marks? Good, because by the end of this, you'll have the exact tools you need. Let's get started.
Okay, here's the secret. At the heart of pretty much every probability problem you're ever going to face is one single, really powerful idea. We're going to call it the golden formula. If you can master this one thing, you are already halfway there.
Now, the official textbook definition sounds a little heavy, I know, but there's a key phrase in there that is the foundation for everything. Equally likely. All this means is that every possible outcome has the exact same chance of happening. You know, like a fair coin flip or a normal roll of a die. This idea is absolutely crucial.
And here it is, the golden formula itself. That P of E just means the probability of an event. And you find it by dividing the number of outcomes you want to happen by the total number of things that could happen. It's just a fraction. That simple ratio is your key to unlocking those 11 marks.
So, how do you actually use this thing? It's a simple two-step process. Seriously, that's it. Step 1. Figure out all the things that could possibly happen. That's the bottom of your fraction. Step 2. Count only the specific outcomes the question is asking for. That's the top of your fraction. Done.
All right, before we start solving actual problems, there are 4 basic rules you absolutely have to know. Think of them like the rules of the game. They're non-negotiable, and they'll keep your answers on track. Let's break these down real quick. First, your final answer will always be a number between 0 and 1. If you get a negative number or something bigger than 1, you know you've made a mistake somewhere. A probability of 0 just means it's impossible, like rolling a 7 on a 6-sided die. A probability of 1 means it's a sure thing, like the sun rising tomorrow. And here's a great shortcut. The probability of something not happening is just 1 minus the probability that it does happen. This little trick can be a huge time saver.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get our hands dirty and apply this formula and these rules to the exact kinds of problems you're going to see on your exam. First up, dice. When you throw 2 dice, these are all the possible combinations you can get. If you count them up, you'll find there are exactly 36 total outcomes. This is a magic number. For any problem involving 2 dice, your total, the bottom of the fraction, is always 36. Just memorizing that saves you a step every single time.
So, let's try a typical question. What's the probability of getting a sum of 8? Okay, we know our total is 36. That's the denominator. Now for the top part, we just count the pairs that add up to 8. We've got 2, 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3, and 6, 2. That's 5 pairs. So the probability is simply 5 out of 36. Easy, right?
Now for the other classic exam question, a deck of cards. Here, the total number of outcomes is always 52. Remember, it's split into 4 suits, half red, half black. And the face cards are just the kings, queens, and jacks. There are 3 in each suit, so that makes 12 face cards in total. Knowing these basic facts is half the battle. Let's do a quick problem. What's the probability of drawing a red face card? Okay, step 1, total outcomes. That's 52. Easy. Step 2, favorable outcomes. We want the ones that are both red and a face card. The red suits are hearts and diamonds. Each one has a king, queen, and jack. So that's 3 from hearts, 3 from diamonds, giving us 6 cards we want. The probability is 6 out of 52, which you can simplify down to 3 out of 26. See, it's that same simple 2-step process again.
All right, listen up, because this is important. Let's talk about a really common trap. This is a spot where it's super easy to lose marks if you're not paying attention, and it all comes back to that equally likely rule we mentioned at the start.
So, a lot of people think that if you toss 2 coins, there are only 3 things that can happen. 2 heads, 2 tails, or 1 of each. So they guess the probability of getting 2 heads is 1 out of 3. But that's wrong, and here's why. Getting 1 of each can actually happen in 2 different ways. You could get heads then tails, or you could get tails then heads. Those are 2 separate, equally likely outcomes. So there are really 4 possibilities in total. That means the correct probability of getting 2 heads is 1 out of 4.
So we've gone through the main formula, the rules, and the most common problems. Let's pull this all together into a final, simple strategy you can take with you into the exam.
Here it is, your action plan. This is your entire probability toolkit. First, always start with the golden formula. Favorable divided by total. Second, memorize those key totals. 36 for 2 dice, 52 for cards. Don't waste time figuring that out. Third, the real skill is in carefully counting the favorable outcomes for each specific question. And finally, always ask yourself that one crucial question. Are these outcomes really equally likely? This simple checklist is your key to mastering probability.
You now have the complete strategy to go and get those 11 marks. The only thing left to do is practice. So my final question for you is this. What's the first problem you're going to solve using this method? Don't wait. Open up your textbook and start right now. You've got this.
Thank you for watching with us. See you next time.